themselves, what they want you to know? Let's get your calls. John in Carmichael. John, good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the conversation.
Good afternoon, Sheriff. I just wanted to comment on some pieces that we've been getting in the mail over the last few days from the so-called House Majority PAC attacking Doug Osee for not supporting veterans. I'm going to tell you something. I supported Tom McClintock against Doug Osee in 2008. And I know a lot about Doug. And attacking veterans, by the way, is not one of them. And to have Nancy Pelosi enter this race and attack Doug in an incredibly dishonorable fashion, saying that he doesn't support veterans, is a lot of BS. You know, I'm a Vietnam War veteran.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your service.
Well, I have 2 daughters and 2 sons who have fought in Afghanistan and Iraq, and thank God they're still alive.
And you have, your family has paid a tremendous debt.
Well, interestingly enough, my only daughter who fought in Iraq is a Bronze Star awardee, and she fought at Fallujah. And I could tell you they all believe that Doug Osee would help them, and they're supporting Doug in this election. So my feeling about this is just absolutely incredible. Why is Nancy doing this? And the only thing I can figure out is she wants to get somebody weaker to go up against Bera, and so they can defeat him. But I'm asking and I'm calling on Amy Bera to denounce this. This is not what should be done.
Well,
we shouldn't be using our soldiers as pawns in this game.
This is obviously a targeted district race and on a nationwide basis. This is a hot district, just as it was 2 years ago. And I'll tell you very candidly, full disclosure, I know Doug Osee well too, and I have publicly endorsed him. And I've also seen some of the literature to which you refer, and I'm aware of the fact that Nancy Pelosi and the DNC is very actively involved in this, and this will be a hotly contested race. So 2 messages, John. First of all, thank you and your family for your extraordinary service to this country, and I appreciate you sharing your perspective on it. I think this is exactly what people have to do, because this is where things can get very dangerous, and I think it's gotten more convoluted of late in terms of how how campaigns work. And so I think that's why it's incumbent upon us to individually take a hard look at what's what. And
I agree with you, and anybody that thinks that Nancy Pelosi supports our soldiers and is not responsible for this VA crisis ought to have another check on this.
Yeah. Yep. Well stated, John. I appreciate the call very much, sir.
Thank you.
Excellent perspective with your family history. I appreciate it very much. Let's check in with Steve in Sacramento. Steve, this is an interesting one. Steve actually reached out of order for that call because I thought, okay, I got to talk to somebody who's voting for Leland Yee, but obviously that's a little different. Teresa in Sacramento. Teresa, good afternoon. Welcome to the conversation. You're going to be the last call today.
Okay, Sheriff. Well, guess what? I'm right on 1 Avenue as usual in a semi with the Bluetooth.
Well, keep your mind on the road there, Teresa. You could take out a lot of people.
Please, we don't talk like that. You know what? You and I both know that Doug Osee's the man for the job. And he's already shown everybody that he can bring the government and private enterprise together with Gibson Ranch. Can I say any more than that?
No, I think that's a good example. It's part of the reason why I am endorsing him.
Yes, and I have physically volunteered out there and worked right alongside of him. I mean, he and I were throwing weeds in the back end of a trailer together. I'm serious. This man will not do just anything.
Hey, Teresa, I appreciate the call very much. As you can tell by the sound of the music, you're going to be it for the day. Have a wonderful evening. I'm out of here, but stick around. 18:30. Let's go to Drake in Elk Grove. Drake, good afternoon. Welcome to the conversation.
Hey, John. How's it going?
Very well, thanks. How about yourself?
Pretty good, thank you.
So, what do you think? Do you look at beyond the glossy mailers?
I live in the Elk Grove area, so I'm in the 7th Congressional District, and I've started to look into some of the candidates, and I find it troubling. I'm a Republican, and I saw recently that Igor Berman has been endorsed by the Marijuana Policy Project. I just find that to be ridiculous. I've personally seen the effects of what, prolonged drug use can do to a family, and, the fact that he's taken $5,000 from this from this, outside interest group in support of the legalization of illicit drugs.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I got some information on that from a law enforcement group, and I took a good look at it. And actually, my intention is to reach out to Mr. Berman and give him an opportunity to respond. In full disclosure, I've already endorsed in that race, and I have not endorsed Mr. Berman. But that might just be a good example of what I'm talking about in terms of. I mean, obviously, the trends are what they are, but this is something where you've got a group who's marketing what is now illegal substance under federal law, and it's illegal in California too, notwithstanding the so-called Compassionate Use Act that allows for exceptions, or allows for a defense to what is still criminal activity. So yeah, where is that likely to go? Is it truly what the candidate believes to be what's best in terms of public policy, or is it an opportunity to raise funds from a specific group? And how will that work into the agenda if he were to be elected to the Congress?
Yeah, definitely. As someone who has seen personally, the effects of illicit drugs, and I'm sure you have seen the effects.
Yes, I have.
It's hard to be able to get behind someone like Igor Berman, who is just accepting money from these, the marijuana policy project.
Well, I think that's a fair example, Drake, of what people should be looking at. Again, associations with others, what people have done in their life, because I would not anticipate that would be something going into the candidates' mail pieces and messages to the electorate. That's not the goal. So look beyond that, and it's not just limited to this race, but I think in general our purposes are better served if we look. Again, just use the old. This is a widely accepted axiom in leadership. The absolute best, most reliable predictor of future performance is what? Past performance. So you look at something like this and you interpret it. Just like if you look at President Obama and look how he lived his life, what was important to him before, and again, through no real fault of his own, I guess, just a tremendous void in terms of leadership and executive background. So, fair point.
Yeah, definitely. As a voter, looking into who's been taking money from who is extremely important to me, and I think it should be important to other voters as well.
I do. I can see. In fact, I think it's a very legitimate observation. See, what will the expectations be from certain special interest groups based upon the money that the candidate has taken as a candidate? And you see that in the California legislature, where there's special interest groups that just get they get love out of the legislature that they absolutely could never defend in a million years. But as you look back and follow the money, I think it's a very legitimate observation and a good perspective on it, Drake, and I appreciate the call.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
You bet, sir. Have a good afternoon. Yeah, I think that's